So last question, 12 marks for this one. There is always a question about recommending. It asks you to recommend in a minute different types of business, and unfortunately it gives you lots of information that you've got to read. There's no point skimming past it. Look, it's meant to look like a mobile phone or a tablet. It's talking about somewhere called Cupton. Doesn't matter you've never been. Doesn't matter that it's in London. The key bits of information, I'll move this to a place where I can just leave it. It talks about the increase in house prices, new businesses opening. It's currently the most up and coming neighbourhood. So that might be something that you're not familiar with. I don't live in an up and coming neighbourhood, you might not. But generally it means that it's somewhere that's getting more popular. There might be new people moving to the area, they might have money, they're looking to improve. It's talking here about the type of people. So it's suggested 18 to 30-year-olds, married couples with young children, trendy retired people. So there should be something there that you can relate to. Either you know some trendy retired people, you might be able to imagine your parents or other parents that you know who are married with young children, or you might be thinking about yourself when you're 18. And it gives you some information there. People who have money to spend, who are the trendy retired, talking about the types of businesses that are already there. Fast food. It says here, fast food outlets have popped up, however they are not popular with the retired people. A chained budget hotel, so like Premier Inn, has also been built, and it's the only hotel in Cupton. It's popular, but there's no competition. A small coffee shop has now opened. So you've basically got the answers to the questions there, if you'd have read it carefully. Okay, so this is where you need to start recommending. Use the supporting information to recommend 3 types of hospitality and catering establishments that are suitable to meet the needs. Now this is right back to lesson 1, year 10, types of establishment. Single people, it's talked a little bit over the page about fast food. Where do single people want to go? If they're 18 to 30, we're assuming they've got no children, we're assuming that they've got enough money to live, they might want to go out to a bar or a nightclub. I'm only going to give one answer. If I start giving too many answers, it's going to look to the examiner like I'm just hedging my bets. And it's called a rubric infringement, where you put lots of answers down hoping that one is right. So I've committed to one answer and I've said a bar. Married couples with young children. I've put family restaurant. I have not just written restaurant, because if it was a married couple with young children, you can't just go anywhere. If you've got younger brothers or sisters, or if you know somebody that's got a young child, you can't just go out to eat. You need to plan ahead and find somewhere that's suitable. And then finally, these trendy retired people, let's give them another coffee shop. Because it said over here that there's a coffee shop, but there's no competition. So here is where I have to review my suggestions. And review means talk about them and justify. When we justify, we give a detailed explanation as to why it is right. So let's start with the bar. Young people like to socialise. A bar might play music and be a place to meet new people. So I've talked about the 18 to 30-year-olds going to a bar. They like to go out. I'm sure you can imagine yourself in a couple of years' time, you like to go out. You might be going out to meet new people in a new area, or you might be going out with the friends that you've already got. Bars might play music. They might have music on, they might have a DJ, they might play live music. So it's a place to go out and meet people and just enjoy yourself. This family restaurant, one of the best things about a family restaurant is a kids menu. So we're not looking at strange meals that don't appeal to children, we're looking at things that have been adapted. Perhaps it's cheaper, perhaps it looks appealing to a child. So here I've explained why a family restaurant is the right thing. I've said there's a kids menu and perhaps the prices are more realistic so everyone can eat together. So it's not McDonald's, going cheap and cheerful, somewhere where everybody can have a meal and sit together, and maybe there's a little colouring in thing, or maybe there's a little play area so the parents can have a drink and something to eat and just relax and not feel awkward about having kids, and they can eat for themselves. So here I've given a few examples of why it is relevant. And then finally, a coffee shop. Retired people are less busy and rushed. So here I've said relaxed people are less busy. Retired people are less busy. If you know somebody who's retired, they've probably got a slightly slower pace of life and they're not in a rush and they're not hurrying around. They might also have some spare money. To talk a little bit here, I think, about them having spare money. And the key word here is trendy. So we're not talking about older people, we're talking about cool, hip, retired people. They've got a bit of money to spend. So they might like going out for a little walk and then having a coffee and a piece of cake. So I've said they're retired, they're less busy and rushed. So a coffee shop is usually quiet and a nice place to relax and chat. So here, look, I've got they're less busy, tick there. Coffee shops are quiet and they can relax and chat. So that's where I'd get my 3 marks for that one. Talked about parents can relax, activities for kids, budget prices, young people like to socialise, bar might play music, meet new people. So for each one, because it's 9 marks, you need 3 answers. When you do your exam, there will always be a question about recommending something, and it'll be about you reading the question, thinking about the person it's talking about and making a recommendation for them based on your knowledge of the industry. That's how you could answer that one. Your question on your exam paper could be about anything, any topic, and it will usually be something that we haven't learned specifically about in the class. So I've gone through the whole exam paper for you. It's out of 90. As a rough guide, a level 1 pass is around about 23. Level 2 pass is in the 45 type area. Level 2 merit is usually 54, let's say. Level 2 distinction is up in the 63, 64. If you want to get a level 2 distinction overall, you need a distinction in this exam, distinction in your coursework. If you've got any questions, just drop me an email. I'll write it on here. So, similar to your email address.